Hey guys, Rajo here with thesubstream.com, and it's Friday, October 16th, so that means that you happen to be watching an episode of Watch This Instead. Today I got to see the latest film by the Coen brothers, and there's one thing you should know. We here at the Substream love the Coen brothers. They have a unique point of view, they have a distinct voice, and they don't sacrifice the audience's entertainment to get their point across. They make highly entertaining films, really funny, sometimes darkly comic, sometimes thrilling and suspenseful, but overall they make films that are undeniably their own, and good on them for that. After coming out of A Serious Man, I couldn't help but come to the conclusion that it's probably, in my opinion, their best film in a really long time. The film is set in 1967, suburban Minnesota Jewish community, and once again, you know, Coen brothers doing a period piece, they get everything note perfect. A Serious Man has a fabulous script that's basically a loose take on the Book of Job. Larry Gopnik, a Jewish physics professor who works at a Minnesota university, basically thinks that he's got everything figured out. He's a whiz with physics, of course, and so he understands the mathematics, he understands the inner workings of the universe. He considers himself a serious man. He's got everything figured out and he's doing everything he should be doing to have a happy and prosperous life. But then out of nowhere, everything in his life starts going absolutely crazy. His wife demands a divorce because she's sleeping with this other guy. His tenure at the university is threatened by some anonymous letters, and his brother, who's a mathematical genius in his own right, can't seem to stay out of trouble or stop draining the cyst on his neck. And all this stuff is sort of happening right around the time of his son's bar mitzvah, which is a really interesting side story for the film. It sort of parallels the father's uncertainty and search for answers with the son's, coming of age and looking for answers on his own. So Larry's catchphrase eventually becomes "what's going on?" as he increasingly loses touch with everything he once thought he knew was true. The Coen brothers always had a knack for turning any little bit of dialogue into a punchline, and that happens in this film a lot. And the way they do it, it's like this perfectly blended mix of well-cast actors, well-developed characters, and really, really sharp editing sensibilities. It's hilarious and it's really well done, and not only because the script is so strong, which it is, and the performances are so great, which they are. The film, on its own, is superbly crafted. It's such a great thing to see filmmakers that you like, having made a few films that you maybe didn't like so much, come back and really, really pull it out of the bag. So the film's hilarious, it's incredibly accessible, even though you think it might not be at first. But the question is, why did we choose this film for Watch This Instead? Well, for one important reason. The film is not in wide release, so you may have a tough time tracking it down. It's only playing in 2 theaters in Toronto, and neither of them are out in the suburbs. So what are you going to watch instead, because you can't go see this movie? You should go back and watch some of the Coen brothers films that you haven't seen before, and you should even watch some of the ones that you have seen before but deserve a second viewing. In that category, I would definitely have to put The Hudsucker Proxy. A lot of people don't consider it one of their best films, but it's one of my favorites. It's got Tim Robbins, it's got Jennifer Jason Leigh. If nothing else, it'll make you want to play with those momentum balls that you see on people's desks. Yeah. Or you could go to the Bloor Cinema next Monday and watch Miller's Crossing and The Big Lebowski, 2 of the Coen brothers' absolute best. Miller's Crossing doesn't really come up a lot when people talk about their favorite Coen brothers films, but it's one of their best made films. It's a mobster story set in the 30s, and it's just super well done. Really, really well done. And then Big Lebowski, of course, the dude, Jeff Bridges. You've probably seen it before, but watch it again. Watch it again at the Bloor Cinema on the big screen. But if you don't live in Toronto and you can't go to the Bloor Cinema, then what you should do is you click on the zip.ca banners that we've got all over this site and add to your zip list any of the Coen brothers films. If you want something funny, you could go for Raising Arizona with Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter. Hilarious. If you want something thrilling and suspenseful, you go for Blood Simple. Or you could rewatch Fargo for the 10th time. I know you've seen it 9 times already. Worth a 10th viewing, for sure. It's one of the smartest, one of the funniest, one of the more stylish crime tragedies that you could ever hope for in a movie that was made in the last 20 years or so. So it doesn't matter which one you see, get a bunch, have a marathon, go to zip.ca, get yourself some Coen Brothers films, or go to the Bloor Cinema if you're in Toronto on Monday, watch Miller's Crossing and Big Lebowski on the big screen. I know you haven't seen them that way in probably a long time. And if you happen to be lucky enough to live near a theater that's actually playing A Serious Man, then by all means, ignore everything I just said and go watch A Serious Man. You won't be disappointed.